Guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'll be doing an informative video regarding my timeline and how much did I pay or the cost of doing OBA. So if you're interested, please keep on watching. For a short disclaimer, I'm not affiliated with any organization or any agency. Everything that I'll be sharing on this video is based on my personal experience and also exactly how much I paid for each step. So if you're interested, let's continue. So just for the information of everyone, when I did the OBA pathway, I already had my NCLEX US. So for the price for that one, I am not quite sure how much is it right now, because when I did it on 2022, it was a different price comparing today. So if you want to know about the price in NCLEX New York, it's better to check on their website on Pearson VUE, or I'll try to put the link down below. Alright, so let's start. So, meron akong cheat sheet. I have a cheat sheet here. So, if you're interested to go into deep or like specific regarding my timeline and the amount, just continue watching the video. But if you want just a summary, I'll put a short summary at the end of the video. Alright? So, September 30, 2022, I started the registration when I paid for 110 AUD. Which in before, I think it's around 610 AUD if I'm not mistaken. So, they made it a little cheaper. And then, October 5, 2022, I already finished my online registration. Online orientation, which is a short orientation in AFRA website. And then, on October 13, 2022, I received a request from AFRA to submit an additional documents for my NCLEX exemption, in which like the letter of eligibility or pass letter. But now, as far as I know, for New York, it should be New York NYSD should submit it directly to AFRA, not you personally who will submit it to AFRA. And then on November 7, 2022, I received a letter from AFRA that I have an NCLEX exempt already, so I don't need to do an NCLEX anymore. On November 8, 2022, I was requested to pay already the OSCE, in which I paid for 4,000 AUD. Until now, it's still same price, walang discount, still same price, 4,000 AUD. So before you get a slot for the OSCE exam, you need to present a valid visa. For that one, I requested for a visa assistance with one of the agencies. So for the visa fee, without the visa assistance, it costs 195 AUD. And then, on November 2022, I already paid for my review center, which is NAI. So, if you're interested to know my experience with NAI, look on the link up. So, I made a short video about this one as well. So, for the NAI enrollment, to get a proof of enrollment with them para sa visa, kasi parang supporting documents siya for visa. Kasi ang in-apply sa akin is business stream visa. So, for the business streams visa, they requested me to get a proof na meron talaga akong plan on for the OSCE eligibility and as well as the enrollment for the review center. For that one, I initially paid for 500 Australian dollar, or approximately during that time for the conversion is around 1,267.84 AED. So that is just a down payment. And then on November 28, 2022, I received an eligibility letter for IQNM. And then December 13, 2022, after getting all the documents required and the things to be submitted, I already applied for the visa for the business stream, which is yung agency na nag-apply for me. And then on the same day, I received a biometric letter para makapag-biometrics na ako. So, on December 14, the earliest time na available is in Abu Dhabi. For that one, I paid an extra for the premium lounge, which is 350 AED, because that's the earliest time available. And I'm trying to get the earliest time for the OSCE. It's January. I think February, sorry. But I didn't get that one. So, But still, I got the premium launch, which is additional 350 AED from the biometrics fee of 260.25 AED. So, parang nag-add ako. And then, on 2 days after, December 16, 2022, I received my tourist visa. For my tourist visa, on business stream, they gave me a 1-year validity with 3 months stay and multiple entry. Then, I thought, once you have your visa, everything is okay. Then, when I tried searching the groups, they told me I have to send an email to IQNM. So, I sent a copy of my valid visa with to IQNM on December 22, 2022. So, immediately after sending it, they did acknowledge it and they said that they received the valid visa and just wait for an update. Since it's Christmas and holiday season, so I didn't expect to have any update with them, I received another update with them on January 13, 2023, in which I received an OSCE schedule and asking me if I'm available on the April cycle, in which I said yes, of course, definitely. So, I confirmed with the April schedule, and then January 2024, I paid 1,000 AUD with NAI because I need to start with the review center, online review. So, February 13, 2023, I started my OSCE review with NAI. It's a Zoom meeting. So, hindi pa po siya yung 3 weeks na face-to-face. And I did my mock exam with them for 2 days. And then April 21, 2023, I had my OSCE exam. So I'm on the 3rd day, I think, on that cycle. And then I was on 9 a.m. exam. And then after exactly 1 month, May 31, 2023, morning here in UAE around 7 a.m., I received the result of my OSCE. And thank you, Lord, dahil pumasa po ako. So, I'm now eligible to do my registration with AFRA. But then, due to some circumstances, dahil I'm gonna get married, I'm gonna deliver the baby. So, I took my PTE exam, which is a requirement, an English exam requirement, on August 24, 2023. I chose PTE because, as per everyone that I know, it's easier than IELTS or the other one, OET. So, for the PTE exam, you need to have a 65 score on all bands and a total of 65, not lower than 65. So, for that one, I paid 1,142.86 AED. And August 26, 2023, I did my criminal background check, which is a requirement for the registration. I chose AIS. I'll put the link down below. They said it's easier and it's more straightforward process than the other one. So for the UAE, I paid 146 AUD, and for the Philippines, I paid 88 AUD, a total of 248.60 AUD, or during that time, it was converted at 588.479 AED. Just a reminder for AIS, during that time, if you're living in the UAE, for you to be able to get the PIN or the access code, you have to email them. Because I think during that time, they're having problem with the UAE mobile number. Then, August 29, 2023, I requested for a certificate of good standing in PRC. Because you need to request for a certificate of good standing on all your registration. So, for the certificate of good standing, and with the certified true copy, I paid 680 pesos. For that one, I asked assistance for DK, from DK, Pasuyo by DK. So, I'll put the link down below. On the same day, then be advised for the certificate of good standing, there's a validity of 3 months only. So, for the certificate of good standing, it's better for you to request it on the same time with ANMAC and AFRA. And then on September 21, 2023, after collecting everything, I already submitted my application of registration to AFRA, in which I paid 503 AUD. Okay, so why is there a long gap from the time I passed until I started my registration? It's because I was preparing for my wedding. So I didn't have the time to do all the requirements, and on September, that's the time I was very free. So I did the submission of my application. And then on October 25, 2023, after more than a month, the case officer went back to me and emailed me requesting for for my curriculum vitae. For the curriculum vitae or the CV, there is a format that where you can see on Afra. I'll put the link down below, in which susundan mo siya. You'll follow the format, and then that's the one you will send to the case officer. Then after almost a month again, November 15, 2023, the case officer emailed me and requesting for a certificate of good standing from UAE. As I said from my previous video, you need to request for certificate of good standing on all employment ninyo na healthcare related. I didn't know during that time that you need to request my EMT background. So, I requested my certificate of good standing from MOHAP. I'll put the link down below as well. I paid 500 AED. And then, I requested them to send it directly to Afra. But, they emailed me back, the MOHAP, and saying that they don't do direct emailing anymore. Because for the confirmation of the certificate, they have a QR code. So, they can confirm. So, on December 12, after almost a month again, they acknowledge the certificate of good standing and stating that they will accept that one, but they need to do some changes for the name. It should be the same with the one on your passport. So January 12, 2023, after a month again, the case officer accepted the certificate of good standing with the corrected name. And then there are POI requirements, so I don't need to present in person anymore. For that one, they sent me a list of documents that I need to submit that should be CTC or certified true copy. After that one, January 19, I already also get the assistance of DK with all my certificate of CTC of all my documents. So on January 19, 2023, I submitted everything, and on the same day, like an hour after, I received my license, and they said, alright, so you're now registered with Afra. So, it is like almost a year bago ko siya natapos from the day I started ng application, from the time I finished my Hosky. So, that's my timeline and the costs from the start of my portfolio until my registration. So, also, that's not the only amount that you will pay. There are miscellaneous pay. What are the miscellaneous pay that, miscellaneous things that I paid for? Number one is the airfare. For the airfare, I paid a lot of money for that one because I didn't have a long vacation. So, I cannot afford to do, to go to a different country to do a connecting flight, which is cheaper. So, I had a direct flight with Emirates. Each cost me 7,034.14 AED during that time. And then for the accommodation as well. For the accommodation, you have options. You can do Airbnb, you can do hotel, you can do sharing. For me, during that time, I was pregnant. So I opted to choose an accommodation in which I have my own privacy because during the time, I was vomiting as well. So I chose an hostel, which is in YHA Hostel. I'll put the link down below. For 7 days, I paid for 1,285.20 Australian dollar, converted to, during that time, 2,260.49 AED. That was 7 nights. Yeah, 7 nights, private room, but the toilet is sharing. Also, the kitchen is sharing, which is ang laki na natipid ko kasi I was cooking my food there. And then, I don't need to eat out every day. And then also, I booked 1 night in Melbourne, which cost me 492.43 AED because I have a long connecting flight in Melbourne going back to Dubai. I was pregnant, I want to sleep. So, I opted to do a check-in, which is very near in the airport. And then, what other miscellaneous is the review center. For the review center that I had is NAI, which is 2,500 AUD. And for that one, it's optional because some don't do any review center. But I highly recommend, please do get a review center. And for the price, it depends on the review center. That's why it's miscellaneous for me. And then, as well as the pocket money, it depends how much you will bring. For me, I didn't pay more than 3,000 dirhams, not more than, because every places that I go to there are free. So, ang pinuntahan ko lang na may bayad is the Adelaide Zoo. And then, yung everyday meal ko. And para makatipid, nag-grocery ako. For the grocery, it's way cheaper. Maraming mga discounts. And then, one time bumili ka ng cooked food, you can eat it for 2 meals already. So, for me, that's one way for me to maximum my budget. And then, para makatipid ako nun, I chose a hostel which is nearby. It's walking distance. So, majority lahat ng pinuntahan ko sa Adelaide is walking distance from my accommodation. So, ang laking tipid nun. Ang binas ko lang is going to the outlet mall. Ayun link, so check out my video on the outlet mall. And, isang bus going to Adelaide Zoo. Ito rin yung link. So, check out my other videos. And then, other miscellaneous that I can think of is the agency. Lahat ng shinare kong amount for you, sa inyo is yung standard amount without the agency fee. For the agency fee, it depends on which agency na pinuntahan ninyo. I will not endorse which agency I came from. I'm happy, but hindi ko siya endorse kasi hindi po ko endorser. So, but I'm happy with them. So, if you're interested to know which agency that I requested help from, you can message me. I'll send you which agency it is. And then for the agency, sila ang nag-help ng registration, OBA portfolio ko, tsaka ng visa assistance. Kasi, andun ako sa point na ayokong ma-stressed. Yan. And other miscellaneous is the New York Certificate of Good Standing, which is $20. US dollars. So for the total of everything, here I'll put on the screen how much is the total. For the essentials, I paid 5,862 AUD, 1,664.86 AED, and 680 pesos. Which is the total of, convert ko lang siya into peso. Andito po sa screen kung yung mga conversion na ginamit ko. So, for non-negotiable requirements, I paid 257,208.11 pesos. And for the miscellaneous, a total of, excluding the pocket money and the agency, so there's a chance that tumaas pa siya or bumaba. For me, that's miscellaneous 254,458.46. So, yun ang aking non-negotiable and miscellaneous. So, tumataginting na, wait lang, mag-add tayo. Tumataginting na 511,666.57,000 pesos ang aking ginastos. Aside pa dun yung mga other things na pwede yung gastusin like pasalubong, pocket money, agency. So, iwan ko lang sa screen yung aking nagastos and aking short timeline. So, what are the reasons why it took so long? But just to remind everyone, it is a case-to-case basis. From some of my batchmates with their case officer, it is quite fast. They receive it less than a month. A few days, the case officer will get back to them. But on my case, my case officer took some time before they get back to me for the follow-up documents, additional requirements. So also that's one reason why it took some time. And then I didn't took my English immediately because I was busy. And then it's better for you while waiting for your OSCE result, you can request for the certificate of good standing and as well as the AIS, criminal background check, para mas mabilis yung process niya for the registration. Make sure all your documents are complete so everything will be smooth and the case officer will not require you to submit additional documents. So before, before there is an instance that you have to open a bank account so you don't have to present in person. Now they change it. They will send you documents that you need to submit so you don't have to present in person anymore. You don't need to open a bank account. So that's it, guys. That's my short timeline and the cost, how much I paid doing the OBA pathway. Yes, it is cheaper than doing the student pathway because as far as I know, the student pathway, you'll pay more than 1 million or 1.5 million pesos to finish, and then it takes 3 years, I think, or 2 years to finish the bachelor. For this one, it is a hit and miss for the OBA pathway. If you pass, it's a good investment. If not, it is expensive. But I know everyone can do this one. And yes, it is expensive, and I think it's worth it in the future. Kung talagang you want to pursue the Australian pathway, this is the best pathway that I can suggest. So that's it. So if you have any questions, clarifications, or any suggestion, please comment down below or message me on my Facebook, or you can email me as well. I'll put the link down below regarding my email. Hopefully this video was able to help. Also be advised, the timeline of every individual varies. Iba-iba po siya. Hindi po yung timeline ko will be the same with the other people. Alright? So this is just a guide on how much and the timeline for me. Alright, so thank you guys for watching. See you on my next video. Bye!